Hey great people, you're welcome to our YouTube channel where we talk about things you need to know prior to leaving your home country to come to Canada as an international student or as an immigrant. Today's edition is special and different from the regular application process. Our returning subscriber, we say thank you. If you're new on our channel, you're welcome here today. It's a learning hub where we get to share ideas and information. Hi everyone. Hello everybody. How are you doing? Okay, now this is good. Good afternoon, everybody. You're welcome to our candid opinion session on Instagram. My name is Ola Iton of Oak Ridge Consulting. I am the founder, the strategic lead, and I have been in New Brunswick for quite some time. At least our opinion to greater extent would count. So I have quite a number of, should I use the word veteran? You know, people that have been here, they've seen quite so much that they could share some details with us. And first off, I want to appreciate each and every one of you for joining us today. You could have been somewhere else, right? But you chose to come join us. You chose to be here. You decided to come give us a moral support and a listening support. We appreciate you and we do not take this for granted. So I have with me here Mr. William Tarr. I'm going to be adding yes, they are here. Yes, you're still not at home. I hope the network is good to us today, because the other time was breaking. Good. See, when you see men, you know, men that they have all it takes to tell us to come to New Brunswick. Okay, let's get started. Thank you, everyone, once again. Thank you for joining us. I see Olade, that proud black woman. I see you. Thank you. Holy One Blakes, Mr. Bolutife. Good day, sir. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Timmy Oyemogaji. Thank you, everyone. I hope your weekend has been great so far and is going on smooth. The reason we are here today is to discuss certain things about what is it, you know, for you to understand or to have in mind while coming to New Brunswick. You know, as you all know, I just want to read this, you know, the TD economic forecast is actually predicting growth of 3.5% and 2.2% in 2022. We're just a few months away from that. And what that means is that the New Brunswick economy should be more than completely recover, you know, this 2022 from the economic downturn due to COVID-19, you know. So that's pretty much a positive outlook, so to say. And this research is from www.immigration.ca. So it's not something that we made up, it's something that the forecast is actually looking in our favor. That's why we have people that have been here. Somebody like William Tarr. When you want to say, I want to say grandfather of. So I see him as like a grandfather that I can run to and say, "Hey, grandpa, I'm failing or I'm losing out on something. What do you think?" And he's always there. So join me in welcoming William Tarr to this segment today. I think we've lost PhD Consulting again. Let me go find him. And if I lose you, I bring you back. If I lose you, I bring you back. Anyways, so welcome, William Tarr. I want to call you Mr. Bill. That's what we call you. That's his handle. He's a realtor. He's been a shoulder for almost all the immigrants. He works with the St. John Newcomers Connection. Before then, he has paid his due at the YMCA. And we don't have an approach to this today. It's just like something that everybody wants to. You just bring your haul to the table. We don't have a slide. We don't have a presentation. We want to get real with every one of you. It's a candid talk. And also we have Ebenezer Jibade. He's the founder of PhD Consulting. And he also has been a business analyst, a professional in the environment of New Brunswick. We want to go this way. We're going to start off with Mr. William Tarr. Before then, I'll just quickly read a bit about him. from the website sjnewcomers.ca. William is the go-to person at the Newcomer Center for the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Projects. He provides support to designated employers, helping them settle their newly hired foreign skilled staff coming to St. John and developing settlement plans for employees that are already in Canada. William moved to St. John in the summer of 2011 to join his family. 10 years, 10 years. That's it. In fact, I don't have a bell. I should roll a bell for you. Anyways, you've been here for 10 years. And today he's proud to call St. John his home. We know that. Himself, a newcomer, William brings to our team a wealth of experience, not only from his successful settlements in St. John, but also from working with the settlement sector for the past 3 years. He's very passionate about making St. John an inclusive community, welcoming people from all around the world and from all walks of life. He enjoys speaking on issues pertaining to immigration, refugee, cultural competency, and he holds an MSc degree in regional development planning and management from the Technical University of Dortmund in Germany and the University of Philippines, Diliman in Philippines. So we have somebody that, like I said, 10 years, that's no joke. And that's why I tell you, when I say grandpa, when it comes to settlement, he is the person that I run to. So I leave the floor to you now. We want you to tell us about what does it mean to live in, like from your experience of being in New Brunswick for 10 years. I know you're not just confined to St. John. You move from one place to another. You and your family, you love touring. We wanted to just pour out your all to us today and let us know, of the facts also about some challenges that we need to expect. So we don't just talk about all the good sides. We want to see the other challenging sides, your experience and how you've been able to navigate. And just so you know, he's also into a real estate. He's a realtor and I don't want to go there. Let him speak for himself.
Well, thank you, Rosalind. You have said everything. I don't know where to start. I think what you didn't mention is that, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm a father. I have 3 girls with me in St. John, and I'm here with my wife. It's a big part of why I'm still in New Brunswick, because of the quality of life. For example, like today, you see I'm sitting in my vehicle. I just dropped my daughters off at the YMCA for swim lessons. I'm able to combine all these things, and this can happen only in New Brunswick. So that quality of life, good for family. Moving to New Brunswick will depends mainly what you're looking for, what stage you're in your family. Like if it's young family, retiring family, you have young kids. Regardless of what stage you're in, I think New Brunswick is a beautiful place to live. It's a small town. We don't have a lot of people. Most of the towns in New Brunswick are not crowded. And one of the things we boast about is no traffic. So, for example, I have friends in big cities that would drive 1 hour from home to work. Meanwhile, I drive 15 minutes from home to work. So back and forth, I use 30 minutes to commute to work. People in other big cities, that's 1 hour, 30 minutes different. That's time you can spend with your family. And because New Brunswick is pretty new to immigration compared to other part of Canada, so there are a lot of things for us to go into. For example, 3 years ago, I decided to go into real estate. Like in St. John, I think I'm the first Black African, West African and everything to go in real estate. And still to now, 80% of the people I work with are also from Africa. And for me, I see myself more as helping people. Helping people is what I do since I've been there for the past 10 years, working within the settlement sector, helping people to settle. So it's good we have the community. The community is growing, and before 10 years ago, I knew almost all the Black people in town. But right now, because we are growing, so you go to Walmart, for example, you see 8 different families, and we don't know each other.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. It's a good thing for us. But like moving to any place, whether you are in Lagos, moving to Abuja, or you are in Monrovia, moving to Accra, or you are in Accra, moving to Kumasi, there are challenges when you move in a new community. And this is especially when you move to a new country, different culture, different currencies, different language. Like there are a lot of things. It's like I can easily describe it. It's like a fish out of the water. A lot of the things we don't take notice of right now, when you move to another place and you start to notice that. For example, even the architecture of buildings, you start to notice, oh, the buildings are different, like the roads are different, the traffic signs are different. And all of those things come with different challenges. And for different people, there will be different challenges. For example, where were you in your career before coming? Were you a manager of a multinational company, or you have just finished your MBA before coming to Canada? Um, you had a good job, or you are unemployed, or you have lived in the UK before and you live in the Middle East and then you also move into Canada. There are a lot of things for different people. But regardless of what your previous experience are, you just have to start from somewhere. And sometimes, as even myself, it's a challenge for many of us where to start from. That's the difference. I just finished my master's degree in the Philippines, and I moved to St. John the next week as a visitor, and then I decided to stay. And
Wow.
it took me a couple of months to get my immigration papers. Like after a couple of months to get immigration papers, that time was not easy. Right now there are a couple of jobs in St. John. I remember, and if I'm taking too much time, you let me know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Before you go ahead, please, can you tell us where you came, your home country, before you became a Canadian? Where are you from?
I'm from Liberia. Liberia is on the west coast of Africa. Um, I live in Liberia most part of my life, but then during the civil war in Liberia, most of you from West Africa will know about that. I went to Ghana. I stayed in Ghana for close to 10 years as a refugee. There, I went to secondary school, went to university in Ghana. Then I went back home to Liberia to help with the reconstruction after the war, and then went to further my education in Germany. I studied regional development planning, and then it was a joint master's degree with a university in the Philippines. So I have traveled
Yeah.
at least all over Europe, Africa, Asia, and then during the process, my wife moved to Canada, and I decided to make St. John my home.
Thank you. Somebody said right there, thank you so much, Life in New Brunswick. I see you, and thanks for all that you do as well for newcomers. We appreciate you. She said, please finish your story about when you moved to St. John, which is very key. And I think if you don't have your notebook here today, you better grab one. When I tell you I call William, hey, Grandpa, don't take that for granted. Like, he's one person that I respect a lot. Please take us through when you moved to St. John. Thank you.
You don't want to hear my story. Sometimes I think about my story. I sit on the dining room table and my wife and myself chat about our early days here, and we think we are lying. I tell newcomers, people that just come today, I tell them my story from the beginning. They think I'm making a story. I started by distributing newspapers.
Wow. Wow. A humble beginning.
That's what I started
Humble
doing.
beginning.
Like immediately, I started distributing newspaper. It was one February. February, by the way, is the coldest month in New Brunswick. One February morning, I was distributing the papers and I fell down in the snow. I sat in the snow and I cried for all my problems. Like everything in life, I just cried for it, and I say I will not do this again. Why I was distributing newspaper? Because I never had a work permit. I was still processing my papers. Then my work permit came. I got my first job to Wyndham. It's common to start your career here from a call center. Liberia is one of the poorest country. One of the poorest country. But then my first job in Canada, I was making less than what I was making in Liberia. So you can imagine that coming from a poor country and then making less money in a developed country. The worst thing about it, 6 months, I got fired. After 6 months, I got fired on my job because I was not didn't want to blame nobody. I was actually not meeting the stats. At the call center, you have stats to meet every month, and I was not meeting it because I didn't like the job. I was just trying to make money. I didn't give up. I went for another call center again. But one thing you should all take from this is the networking. In everything I did, I was networking. I joined a local church. I was a Sunday school teacher in that church. I met many people, people from different cultural backgrounds, Canadians, Africans, Asian, and I built my network. Working at a call center one day, somebody sent me a message from the YMCA, said, we have a job, can you apply for it? And in St. John, when somebody in the organization asks you to apply for a job, you already 80% done. You already have that job 80%. I've done it for a lot of people.
Exactly.
When I send you a message and say, I have a job in my office, can you apply? You already have that job because of the network. People hire people here based on network. I got that job, and since then, since I started working from the Y, one time I used to think about, I was wishing I made $16 per hour. Now I don't know how much, I don't work per hour again. Yeah, I don't take money per hour job. I just work. Yeah. So it has been good. It was not easy, but it all depends what you want. It all depends what you want for your family, what you want for yourself. I have seen so many people come to New Brunswick and they leave New Brunswick, go to bigger cities, and they end up moving back. So it all depends on what you want for you and your family and your career. In terms of location, we are ideally located. We just about 6 hours or 7 hours from Boston. Sometimes I drive all around the east coast of the U.S., like from here straight to New Jersey. I take 11 hours. You can even travel and use an airport in the States. We're close to Halifax. I mean, in terms of location, it's just good. So if you are from a busy city like Lagos or Accra or New Delhi or anywhere that's very busy and you want kind of like just like slow down and live a quiet life, this is the right place for you.
So you're saying we're conveniently located in a place where if I want to jet off to the US right now, you know, I can plan myself, and I'm speaking because I know that you do it almost every summer. You pack yourself, your family, and off you go. I know that, you know, so we can easily go to the US. And how close are we to Portland, Maine in the US as well? Because I know we're closer to Portland, Maine.
Yeah, we are close to Portland, Maine, but surprisingly, Portland is not a big city. We are about
but it's in the US, right? Again, that's what I want to establish.
So right from St. John, where I am now, to the US border, which is me, is about 1 hour 15 minutes. The biggest town from here is about 3 hours. They have an international airport there. So sometime when I'm traveling in the US, I drive to that airport. It's in Bangkok, and then I can travel. But something we don't notice in terms of time difference. We are closer in times different to Africa compared to if you are way on the west coast. Time different. We're closer in terms of time different to people in Europe and everything. And because of that, a lot of companies are moving to New Brunswick. Like, let me give you an example. When I came, TD Insurance.
Please, can you hold on? Please hold that example. Please, if you have a friend that is looking to immigrate to New Brunswick or that is contemplating, please share this video with them. Let them join, because that's an opportunity for you. Because there's so many questions that have been coming. We cannot always answer it all on the spot, but this is an opportunity. Please share this video with them. Let William Tarr share all his experience of 10 years, and he's also like the major coordinator that started the Atlantic Pilot Program here in New Brunswick. So you have a lot to take away from this session today. He will talk about real estate as well. Okay, thank you for moving closer to where we can see you. That's the regional YMCA, the big one, right?
Yeah, I'm at the Y.
Amazing.
The YMCA.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we can see you well now. Yeah, yeah, thank you.
The
Thank
way
you.
you used
Please
to
go
work,
ahead.
you used to volunteer.
He used to be my boss. That's why I tell you, like, this man is like he's an all-rounder. And I too, I have learned a lot from William, to be honest. And I am grateful for always opening your door for immigrants, for the encouragement, because William was one of those people, even when I wanted to give up, he was just there telling me, Rose, he calls me Rose. He's the only person that I allow to call me Rose. He has refused to call me Olaito. He will tell me, Rose, you need to hang in there. You've not even seen anything. We have seen worse. And I say to myself, if he has seen worse, and what I am experiencing to him is nothing, then I am safe. Then I am okay. So please, you wanted to tell us about something, what we need to know about New Brunswick. Go ahead, please.
So I just wanted to say in terms of employment, employers are more open up now to hiring immigrants. It's because of the achievement immigrants have done in those various companies. I know when I first came here, for example, I applied to TD Insurance. It's kind of like a high earned, like they pay well in kind of
Yeah.
call center job. Many people start their career there.
Mm.
And I applied there 2 times. I did interview. I didn't get the job because it was like a difficult place to enter. Right now, I get letter every week from TD asking me, William, we are hiring people. Can you recommend people to work with us? So like when talking about job that you start with about $24 per hour. And you remember I was telling you I was wishing one time to make $16 per hour. And these jobs are available. But somebody told me this when I first came. He said, in this place, the sky is your limit. You know your potential. You do not want to come and sit down for a $20 job and you think it's all up to it. You can
Right.
grow. Like
True.
the beginning, it's never easy. I know somebody that started just from the same. We all start from call center. Most of us, when you listen to most of his stories, you're laughing because you are there to the story
Yes.
is not separate call center from the beginning yet. But it's good because if you just move here from say Ethiopia and all your professional references from Ethiopia, a Canadian employer is kind of like thinking, oh, yeah, he's good. I'm not doubting his technical skills, his degree. Nobody would doubt your degree here. But like the question is, can I work with this person? So as soon as you work with a Canadian company, regardless of the size, they know that, oh, this guy has worked in this company. I can call there and make a reference. So instead of you sitting and saying, I'm a business analyst and I need a business analyst job, you will wait for you will get it one day, but you'll wait long. It's good for you to even start something. When I came, like what I said when I got my work permit, I said I can do any job, but I will not do a labor-intensive job. It's not bad to do labor-intensive job. I'm just not a strong guy. So I said I can't do anything that would deal with my muscles. I would just sit down somewhere.
But
Yeah,
your wife is dragging you now. You guys are climbing. You are climbing the roof together now, don't you?
yeah, yeah. So that's it. And you just have to know that this first you have to recognize this is not your home. What I see of late, another advice, you are not in competition with anyone. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter been here 10 years and you just coming, we're not in competition. This field is big. There is enough for everybody. There are a lot of different opportunities here and we can all make use of it.
Thank you. Let's hold that there. You mentioned something that is leading me to the next guests we have. I think network has been funny with PhD consulting. And now that you are here, if you go again, I will drag you back.
Okay, no worries.
If you go, I bring you back. Now we have Ebenezer Ajibade. He's a strategic, innovative, and dynamic business analysis professional with a bias for data analytics and over 13 years hands-on experience in requirement elicitation in analysis, solution assessment and validation, business transformation, project management, business case development, business process reengineering, business systems analysis, business planning, and advisory. He has a passion for excellence and an eye for detail, while seeking to solve business problems with proven business analysis techniques that is aligned to BABOK and methodologies across different industries, such as financial services, retail, health insurance, telecommunications, consumer businesses, and professional services. I'm just going to leave it there before I bite my tongue because I know he has a lot of his sleeves. Join me in welcoming Ebenezer. We call him Shogun, Mr. Strategy. We'd like you to talk to us about your journey so far, the challenges, the transferable skills, the expectation, people that are moving. And I am going to come back to these messages, please. If you have any question, please let's put them in the question icon so we can take the questions in due course. Shegun, welcome.
Okay.
Can you take us away?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if everyone can hear me okay. It's really great to be here. And I count it such an honor, to be on this same live call with the likes of William Tarr. He's my boss, big boss. And yeah, and then yourself as well, Alaita. I mean, it's interesting that
go on, please.
Based off what William has said, I can easily quickly tap into that and talk about a lot that is relating to what he already mentioned. Now, one interesting fact about New Brunswick is that, in terms of location, yes, it's in a great place. And also, I want to quickly say that, it's kind of known for the aquatic spendor that it kind of has. And, in terms of, standard of living as well, of course, it has that kind of, kind of relatively low standard of living. So I'll jump right into telling my story, in order not to, kind of mention what's already been said and in the interest of time as well. Now, I actually came into New Brunswick, a little bit different from, what William said. I mean, I came in as a permanent resident here. I kind of started this journey when I was back home in Nigeria. And yeah, a relatively long process. But I mean, I said to myself, I have a great career, great family and all of that. And, I said to myself, what do I really want to do when I get to Canada? I mean, I looked at my experience and I said to myself, I wanted everything that I've been doing in terms of work to kind of converge. And of course, I mean, I hit my gold mine, so to speak. I came across business analysis. It wasn't something that was very popular at the time back home in Nigeria. But of course, I had experience working with a lot of stakeholders in the financial services industry, and also in as a consultant, I actually have a little bit of consulting background. I was opportunity to kind of work with the likes of McKinsey, one of the biggest consulting firms in the world today. My organization then was undergoing some sort of very large transformation. And I realized that it was an opportunity for me to, really explore, work from the angle of, a change mindset and having an agile mindset. Now, I found myself doing a lot of things at the time, things like, business planning at the time. I found myself doing a lot of systems analysis. I found myself doing a bit of data analysis. But like I said, I was able to kind of find my track, jump into business analysis. Though everything I've been doing today really converges into this. And there I went off, to pursue a career in that field. Based on research as well, I was able to understand that, okay, this is actually really relevant. I'm like, okay, good. I mean, I did my research, spoke to friends who are already in Canada. The guy said to me, okay, so what do you really do? Like, tell me exactly what you do. Don't doctor it. Just tell me what you do. Okay, so I told my friend, like, well,
don't doctor it.
Don't
okay.
doctor it. Yeah, he mentioned to me that, well, based on what you said to me, if you have a business intelligence background, you've worked in this industry, you've worked in that industry, you have a lot of transferable skills that you can bring to the table, especially if you also choose to pursue a career in business analysis. In fact, he said something to me, he said, you're going to be a hotcake, And yours truly, I mean, I landed here, but not carrying that on my head that, oh, I'm going to be a hotcake. You know, a lot of people feel that, okay, when you come into a new environment, so because you feel that you have a master's degree or because you have, you know, some sort of, you know, certification here and there, that it's really not about that. You know, like William said, a lot of people actually really started off, doing what they would rather not do. I mean, but again, I mean, I got in here, but I didn't come as, oh, I can do it all. You know, I landed that week, and the following week I said, well, I want to work. You know, I met a couple of people who said, oh, they work somewhere, and I'm like, I want to work there too. They said, no, you can't do what we're doing. You're a big boy. I said, no, I'm not a big boy. I want to try what you're doing. You know, and off I went, and I just decided to do it because I'm the type of person I love to explore. I love to network. I love to be out there, you know. So of course I jumped into the training for the call center at the time. Of course, fast forward, I mean, 4 weeks or I think about 6 weeks thereabout, I wasn't there anymore. You know, I was able to find a job within my own, you know. So I remember at the time I was telling my friends there because, you know, just to allude to what William said, the network is very critical. The friends that I made there today are still my very good friends. You know, although I didn't come across as, oh, I've got a lot of education, I've got certification, I've got a lot of experience, I've been there. No, you know, I was able to learn the culture, and I learned it from people that are pretty much high school leavers, you know, who were in the same team with me. And, you know, I was able to learn a lot technically, and I think it really did help me, you know, learning the culture, the workplace culture, and how things work around here. But, you know, of course, back in my closet, I'll go back home. And that's one critical concept that I want to be able to put out there for immigrants to know. You want a survival job? Yes. That's the only thing that puts the bills on the table. Yes, no worries. But guess what? You need to go back and make sure that you are doing what you need to do. You know, I go back home and I'm sending like 20 applications, you know, in one day. Someone was calling me, what's going on? You know, sometimes I get some calls, sometimes I don't get calls. You know, I mean, I've been there, you know, getting all the, oh, your resume looks great, but I think we'll go with another candidate. And I guess to allude to William's point, the fact is they know you have the skills. They know that, you know, your international degrees are valid, but they're a little bit, you know, skeptical to see if you have those transferable skills that we would otherwise tag as Canadian experience. You know, you're a team player, you know, are you a great negotiator? Are you a great communicator? You know, can you work with people? Things like that. Things that are really not taught in schools, you know, where we're coming from back home. So, and coincidentally for me, those are some of the skill sets that a BA actually has, you know, as we usually refer to them as underlying competencies. So for me, those things really work a lot. I'll quickly give this example. I don't know if I'm running out of time, but my first call with a recruiter, okay, so the recruiter, you know, called me and I answered, and then like, hey, he said to me, okay, so Ebenezer, tell me about your experience, things like that. And I went on and on and on and on. And then she gave me a poking question that was supposed to destabilize me, which was, okay, so all of this experience, you know, you have a great resume. All of this experience, do you have them from Nigeria? And here I was, I'm like, well, of course, I've never worked in North America before. I've never been in Canada before.
So how did you answer? We need to know so we can learn, because I am writing. I really see, I have a big giant book. I need to learn something. How did you answer that?
Okay. Okay, so I said to myself that this is a trick question and I needed to be smart about it. And this is a recruiter, not a hiring manager, not a director. This is a recruiter who doesn't even know what I do. And I said to myself, I need to be smart about this. And I said to her, oh, yes. And then I started painting my company as though, oh, yeah, it's a global company. It's the largest telecoms company in sub-Saharan Africa. And then I was sounding, oh, Africa, you know, and I quickly gave the person a lot of stats. Oh, we have the largest number of subscribers in sub-Saharan Africa, and I gave the number. Oh, we deal with this number of, this is our revenue. Luckily for me then, I mean, I was working in a role where, You know, I have an idea of what our revenue is. Of course, it wasn't billions. You know, these are the kind of stakeholders I deal with, and I went on and on and on and on and on. She almost actually had to stop me. I just told myself I wasn't going to stop here. I was going to answer this question, okay. And at the end of that, said to me, oh, yeah, that's great. That's great. You know, we'll invite you for the next stage of the interview. And that was it. But if I said, you know, do you have this experience from Nigeria? And all I said was yes. She would tell me, oh, don't worry, we'll call you back and we'll get back to you. You know what I mean? Things like that. And that's it. That's a dismissal in disguise. You know what I mean? So essentially, what I always want to let people know is that, you know, while I was talking about MTN at the time, you know, I mentioned to them that, you know what, you know, I didn't, because they don't even know what MTN is, but I was able to compare, like, okay, something like your bell, you know, here. So the person understood where I was coming from, understood the fact that I had the grasp of that industry, that I know my function as a BA and things like that. And of course, they were already testing me. You know, one of the things you do on the interviews is, okay, how well can this person communicate? You right? We couldn't see ourselves, but of course, we went on and on and on and on. I mean, and that was it for me. That was an opener. And at the end of the day, I got into the role. You know, one other experience after that. I didn't get that role eventually, right? But I got past.
But at least you went to exactly.
I got past the recruiter. I got to the hiring manager, and then right there at the interview, of course, I did my best, and they were like, "Wow, this guy is good." And then they went on and said, "Okay, we were looking for someone that has a little bit more experience in this other area, but guess what? That hiring manager referred me to her husband, who actually gave me my first job in Canada." So you see, I didn't know anyone, but of course, some of these things you really have to let them understand where you're coming from. You know, somebody said, if you cannot play together, you can't work together. If you can't communicate with them, there's no way they will hire you. If you can't make a joke with them, there's no way they can believe that, oh, you're on the same team. If you can't make small talk about whatever it is, hockey, whatever, anything. But if they can't converse with you, there's no way they will look at you and say, okay, they want to hire you. It doesn't matter if you have all of the degrees or certifications in the world. You know, I mean, that's been my experience, you know. And of course, fast forward, you know, one job I was able to leverage on that, you know, learn in this industry. I mean, I got a better paying job as well. And of course, and that was it for me, and I also moved again, you know. And that also spurred my interest in saying, you know what, I don't want what happened to me to happen to other people. I want to be out there to be able to help people also start their business analysis careers. Or guess what? Even if you probably want to remain in your field, you know, there are some underlying competencies, which is often natural to us as BAs, that you need on your job as well. So, I mean, call it whatever, emotional intelligence, negotiation skills, team player, you know, team playing type of skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills, all of those things, all the works, all the soft skills. Those are things that, you know, that will be natural to us as BAs. So, I mean, I don't know if, you know, I can actually maybe pause at this minute, but of course, that's been my story so far. Sure.
Yes. Thank you so much. I really wanted to react to that, to also establish the fact that what Segun just said in the last few, when he tried to close in on the way the interview went, that's also my story. And the good thing about my guests today is they literally brought me back to the point how I started. I started as my first job. William actually sold the newspaper, right? I myself, that day, I thought I found a job. I was dressed with my laptop bag, everything. And I went to this same spot. And guess what happened? I was sent to the kitchen. I was given the chef hat. And they were there literally mixing flour and dough. Everybody was already, you know, covered in powder. And here was I with my suit, ready to start my day. And so it's what life throws at you here that you have to embrace and tell yourself, I must gain something out of it. And from there, because the time didn't work for me, I spent 2 days there, but I learned something that I can never buy with $200 on the spot. I connected. The guy told me places where he buys things, some supply chain navigation that I really needed at that point in time. I learned those two things. And I made a friend that connected me to another friend. And I found myself at the gallery as a consultant for a temporary gig. And I joined TD Insurance. Like William said, TD Insurance job that I did it wholeheartedly. The time wasn't convenient for me, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. I had 2 children to look after. Most times I found myself at 12 midnight. I am still working because sometimes you get on a call, a customer, you want to close in on that deal because they actually measure you by how many sales you knock off that week. So I can't afford to let that sales go and have to be on the phone as long as the client stays on the call, sometimes 12 midnight. And the children, and by the way, my husband comes in, and people that knows my story, he works as a professional outside of Canada. So anytime he's not around, we literally have to juggle all those sides. So I have to drive myself from one point X to point Z, spending another 10 minutes, picking up these children around, late, and we come back. But then, was it easy? No, it wasn't easy. But something was keeping me on that track, motivating me, the big picture. Sometimes the big picture will make you stay on a job, and then you gain eventually. And that was how I got the gig I am right now in an IT company. When I did the interview, I wowed this person, but this person was looking for more. This person needed more. And do you know, he just referred me to the person that hired me today. I never applied to that job. Right. But then I got a letter from HR stating, would you be available for this interview? And that was it. So sometimes just play your card well in an interview. Leave a lasting impression. Let them not put them in a spot where they cannot say no to you, but they can find you an alternative. Okay. So coming back to real estate markets, I'm a student. I'm a visiting, maybe like a business investor that is on the trip to see how New Brunswick looks like. Is it easy for, thank you, Clicks by Dami. Thank you also, Life in New Brunswick. Call center is one of the best places to learn Canadian culture because you'll be dealing with diverse group of people. Yes. And how well you play your card well. And when I'm saying play your card, it means putting your all, working so hard. Because I tell people, when you find yourself in a role, because you belong to the visible minority group, leave a lasting impression. Be that Nigerian that left with an impression so that when another Nigerian that you don't even know is there, comes for an interview, that impression you have left, the very first time will rub off on that person. Even though you didn't do it for that person, just do it. If you're there as a librarian, go there with an impression that you want to leave a landmark, impression. So that when another librarian comes for an interview, the person say, oh, and that's what they do here. When you say your name, you're from this place, they will ask you, do you know XYZ from Nigeria? Even if you don't know the person, they want to ask you. Because that's how that impression impresses upon that individual. So please, there are work here. How do you get the job are the things we want to talk about on the business analysis, soft skills acquisition, and then how do you settle? Are the things we're going to be talking about with our Atlantic Pilot Immigration Program coordinator, the settlement advisor, and the real estate guy. I want to hone it home. What are the challenges? Please give us some few nuggets. We are just like 15 minutes away, but I know we can make do with this 15 minutes, 7.5 minutes each.
I know we've been spending a lot of time on talking about career and finding job and employment. But we should also make it clear, employment is not all to it, even though it's the major thing why you will stay here. Most of the time you will stay here because of the community and employment. So we also have like very good schools. People ask me which one of the school is a good school. All the schools here are very good. There are some people that decided to put their children in private school. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of private school. All the schools are good. We have healthcare. It's free, but sometimes it can be a challenge because there's it's not easy getting a family doctor. Sometimes it's like back home, we just go and pay and everything and get our treatment. No, it's not like that. Sometimes you're sick, you go to the hospital, you want for them to give you injection. They just say, go home, drink water and sleep. you're not feeling well. But still, we have, Our life expectancy here is high, so that means the doctors know what they are doing. Housing is a big issue when you come. You need somewhere to stay. Because most of us coming here, we had a good career back home. Immigration is expensive. You have to be doing well back home for you to even think about coming to another country. So most of the people that come here, they had a good career back home. They had their own houses, big houses. And you come with that in mind, like, okay, I want the same thing. It's not like that. I talk to people, especially Nigerians, when they are back home, they are coming. Say, William, can you find me a place?
Why
I
are
want
you on
three
our case today, man?
Okay, I talk to African. I want 3 bathroom, masters, ensuite, this. Even when they come, because
right?
it's not available. That right now houses are in demand.
Wow.
I guess
you see the Nigerian power now. We boxed this internet away.
I mean, he said it. Yeah, some people don't know, and then they think, oh, I want it, all in suits, things like that, But I mean, Canadians they didn't build their houses like that. So, except you probably want to build yours, you know what I mean? So, I guess it's interesting.
He's a very funny guy. I like he's real.
He's very practical, which is really good. One thing I also wanted to put out there is right. We've talked about our own stories, but of course, our stories do not define. Doesn't mean that's how your own story will be. You know what I mean? So because someone started from a call center does not mean you have to start from there. No, you don't have to. So, one of the most important things is have that information and leverage on those things. A lot of people don't take that. Nobody built a ceiling for anybody. No, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And like William said, so I'll just let you continue. Like he said, I mean, it's all about working for people. At the end of the day, a lot of the immigrants are coming here at what age? 30, 35, 40, 45, right? An average Canadian has already worked for God knows how many years. He probably has 10 years left to work to be able to get his full benefits. But you are just coming, starting up, getting a mortgage and things like that. So I tell you what, it's about doing business. So that's really one nugget we really also need to understand. And we need to move faster than they are moving, because I mean, they already have worked a lot. They probably started working at 19 or 20.
Yeah.
So they have years of experience and they have a few years to go. They're probably the same age, but guess what? It's what it is, right?
Right.
So so I'll let William take it away from here. I know.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just at the point to say, so even though housing is becoming a challenge, but it's still better than the rest of Canada because the average price of a decent house in New Brunswick is around $250,000. And you can take a mortgage with that. You just need 5%. The rest of Canada combined is around $700,000 for an average house. So housing here is very cheap. However, our taxes is a little bit high here. We pay 15%. And I'm in St. John. I'm supposed to promote St. John. But let me tell you, when you come to New Brunswick, you are not tied in any city. If you come to St. John, you cannot find your way. I know a lot of people will move to Mountain. People come to Mountain initially, they move to St. John. People move from St. John, from Fredericton to St. John. Do not tie yourself to nowhere. Canada is a free country. You can move anywhere, but you should know, you should just set your priority. Most of us, we just, especially those of us that have children, we say we come here for our children. Let's keep that. We cannot just keep moving the children around. I see families moving them around, and those children, they take time to get adjusted in new school. They take time. First of all, you took them from Africa, you brought them here. They all had their own rooms and everything. You squeeze 3 of them in one bedroom. Then you take it in again to carry them to another big city to go put them in an apartment building. So, and at the end of the day, you tell your friends it's just because of my children I came here. Then let's let the children enjoy life. We should. I see also we saving all the money and denying the children of things. Say we saving them, and then at the end of the day, we say we came here because of the children. Let's it's true. I see it. Let us enjoy the children. I know it's good for us to get career and everything, but if we say we came here because of the family, let's see it. Okay.
I'm so pumped. My belly is just.
Yeah.
William, you're just who you are, like, and that's why I don't get tired of talking to William. He will break it down and let you see
because of the children, but we don't even pay attention to the children, and we go out and say we're here because of them. What are we doing for them? We're not paying school fees for them. We're not doing this.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Children, yeah.
All right, thank you, William. So for any real estate you're looking to mortgage, contact William. He would make you, like, the thing with William is he will always tell you the honest truth. If you want to listen, it's always good. I listen. A lot of people that have come across and connected with William, they will always tell you the same thing. It tells you it's not going to paint it red when it's white. Okay, so for your real estate needs, contact William. But we have some international students that really wants to mortgage. At this point, what advice do you have for them?
The first thing I tell people, the first question I ask people, do you want to stay in New Brunswick? That's the first thing. To get a mortgage, you have to build a credit. And for most of us, this whole thing about credit is new to us, right? We're from places where most of us just use cash and everything. So for an international student, you just on a student visa. I know there are special programs for you, but like say a regular person, permanent resident or Canadian citizen, you just need a 5% down payment and you get a mortgage. And you, most of the things you have a permanent job for at least 3 months and everything. But for international students, it will be slightly different for you. And it would depend on the bank. So you go to one, we have all the banks in New Brunswick, all the major banks here. You go to one of them and they will say, no, that should not stop you from going to the next one because each of the banks have different policy. However, instead of you just going around in circle to all these banks, it's just good for you to go to a mortgage broker. What I tell my clients, go to your bank and go to a mortgage broker and just listen to what they say. Because even in my case, I've gone to my bank I'm with RBC and they have denied me mortgage in the past. And I've gone to a mortgage broker and I got mortgage. And it has also happened the opposite. I went to a mortgage broker, I was denied mortgage. I came back to my bank and I got it. So it's good for you to check. But if you come to New Brunswick, especially St. John, to do the MBA program, I tell the MBA student, I didn't do MBA, I'm not smart to do it. It's very intensive. It's very intensive. I see people, they come the first week and they start thinking about it's good to think about all those things, but that particular program you are coming to do is very intensive. And sometimes I joke with international students. I said, your main reason of coming here is immigration. So you have to pay attention to your studies first, finish that program, and then focus on the other one. So to get mortgage, you cannot, except you paying by cash, but to just get the mortgage as soon as you come is going to be a challenge. And you don't really want to be distracted walking after mortgage or so. You first, I will advise you to settle in the program, get your rhythm, know how to get around and everything. And then you start looking for mortgage. But again, you have to decide where you want to stay. Because I know people that did the MBA program in St. John, they got way better job in, I don't want to call that other city near, start with an M.
we know the M. M for mango, right? Yeah. M for mango. Okay, no problem. No problem.
You have to wait it because house can really tie you in a location. House can really tell you, so you have to make sure, okay, I'm okay, and this is where I want to be.
Right. Okay, so they need to first of all focus on why they are here, right? Because again, the down payment might not work in their favor, and maybe they might not be able to get the mortgage itself. And depending on if they want to stay or not, that would let them know if they are ripe for mortgage or not, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we have a question for PhD consulting, Ebenezer. What is your take on those who look down on people because you're working in a call center role? And this thing, with all due respect, this is something that is common to certain people of a country that I totally respect them. But they look down on peers because they are working in call center role. What's your take on that? How do you think, or what's your advice for those that are in call center role, whether they should feel comfortable or not? How can they, navigate?
Okay. One of the ways to actually answer this question is this, right? If someone asks you to jump, right, the question is how high? What standard have you set for yourself? What's your motivating factor? Where do you want to? If that's what you want to do, that's okay by all standards. But if you know that, based on your previous experience and your previous work experience, you want to be able to do more, or you probably even want to, change your career, you can do that. One thing we don't know is that our work experience is actually...
There's an echo.
Yeah.
Is it from my side? Can you hear an echo from my side?
It's okay. I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. Can you still hear it?
From your side.
You can hear it from my side. If it's not too bad, I should think maybe it's my headphones. 1 second.
Okay, we'll manage. Let's go ahead.
We're not hearing. I also want to talk about looking down too.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to quickly mention is typically your work experience is valid, but one thing you have to know is how do you translate your international work experience, to the local context within Canada? That's actually very important. Recall when I mentioned that, okay, all I know is, MTN, this, that. Or where I've worked is Fidelity Bank or Zenith or GT Bank. Do I know RBC? Do I know TD Bank? Am I able to infuse my work experience into that? That's extremely important, But again, to be honest with you, because they work in call center, I mean, that wouldn't be my thing. At the end of the day, you learn some relevant things that can be taught in school, soft skills, managing people, emotional intelligence, understanding the culture, from there. But for me personally, I mean, I have set a standard for myself. Like I said, that's one of the things that drove me into, finding, a way to make sure that my experience converges. And I kind of started PhD consulting, to help people start their BA careers. Even people who are not BAs and actually want to continue in their current profession need those underlying skills, and they are extremely important. One of the things I wanted to dish out as well is this. You need a dose of confidence, to be able to navigate, this entire journey of career or even starting businesses. You need a dose of confidence. You don't want to come across as though, oh no, you don't have anything. You want to show up with a dose of, poise. There's a thin line between, confidence and pride, or poise and pride, But of course, you need to be able to sell yourself. If you have something and nobody knows that you have it, then how would
nobody knows?
Exactly. So I wouldn't say it's great to look down people who are working in a particular role or anything. No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. William wanted to say something. Please go for it.
We are in Canada. There's dignity in labor. People respect you. Canadians will respect you any job you do it, regardless of call center or wherever you work. We all enjoy the the basic needs. We all enjoy it. Everybody here drive a nice car, live in a good house thing. What would different you that working as whatsoever and mean working from call center? Maybe every year you would take your 5 children and go back to Nigeria, and I will not be able to afford that. But in St. John, we're all shopping to Walmart, we'll all go to Costco, we'll all drive the same car, we'll all do the same thing. And like I said from the beginning, you are not institutional people. I know group of people here that used to work at call center. The past 6 months, they all now working with Canada Revenue Agency.
Yeah.
You can once you enter federal government, you just claiming. So you have to start from somewhere. It would just be sad you come and say, I'm not starting from here because people look down on me. No, it's not competition. And because a lot of people already here, like it's like if you are coming, you already have a friend here. So looking for job, finding job now is way easier than 10 years ago. There was nobody in the system to even refer you to go to the manager and say, I have my friend just from Nigeria. We used to work together in the same bank. He's here. Then you look, the manager will say, oh, tell him to bring a resume. By the time you see the person already have a job, all these opportunities, people have come before you, have done very good job. And there's no immigrant I meet here. Like I sell house to people, so we have conversation. There's nobody that not working here. Like everybody have like some decent kind of job. And then you're not just going to do the job. Even if you start working wheresoever, that's not your end. First thing you realize that all your managers, you are way smarter than them. It's because they have other experience or some kind of certificate. So are you sitting down and all these certificates are available here? Back home, we either have to go to the UK or we have to pay $3 for this certificate. It's all available to us here. You just have to sacrifice and write them. And then you look, you go up. So there is no job. I know a lot of people here doing things like delivery and other things. At the end of the day, when you do your customer job and you go to Toyota and you take one Highlander and you drive it, there is no person that I'm rating on your Highlander. When you drive it, there is no cost.
William, let me quickly come in here and say something. Yeah. And this is actually an experience that happened to me. And I mean, don't judge me, but I mean, this is just a mindset thing.
But don't judge anybody here. We don't judge anybody.
Which is really the challenge with a lot of immigrants, right? It's about mindset. So I was working in a great job, and then I went back to the office at night because I left something in the office. So when I got to the office, of course, I saw the lady that cleans for us. She would typically come to our desk or things like that. She greets us, she's Caucasian. And I was wondering, I was just being nice, out of being nice, I mean, I asked her, how are you going home? I greeted, and then I'm like, how are you going home tonight? It was 7:30. It was in the winter period, and it was late. And that place was a little deserted. And she said to me, I'm okay, I'm fine. I'll drive or something. I'm like, okay. I mean, the answer was a little bit, like, I'll be fine type of answer. So I said, no worries. So I said to myself, okay, no worries, she'll be fine. I'm wondering. So I got outside. It was dark, and there were 2 cars on the lot. I had my own jalopy there, which how we'll call it. I had my, I had my, less than $2,000 car parked there, and there was a brand new car parked there. There were 2 people in the building, myself and her. Who would have thought, oh, this person owns that car, or that person owns the other car? Lo and behold, mindset. See what I mean? So you see, you really don't want to. You don't want to come with that mindset. You really want to be able to stand and understand the culture a little bit more.
Yeah,
that's extremely important. Extremely important.
Yeah, and that goes on to just support what you said now. There is this lady that helps when I came for the MBA program. Like William said, it was very tough. 7 years ago, I was the first Nigerian to come with kids. Everybody just come normal, and that was it. And the first week into it, I was already breaking down. Michelle Scott, the coordinator, was telling me, don't worry, I'll talk to the YMCA, we'll talk to the newcomers. Let's see who can help you. Fortunately, I got a lady from Asia, and then she said, not because she needed the money, but because she loved to. She just can't stay still. She has the money. She bought 2 houses here,
Right.
and then she offered to become a nanny. And I was like, I can't pay you. She was like, anything I have, I should pay her. That because of the one-child policy, she misses having children around her. And if you see the car this lady drives, like tear rubber, Benz, everything, and she came to earn $10 per hour. So sometimes you don't judge people by the kind of job they do. And that's why, like William said, there's dignity in labor. And everything I'm going to wrap up, because we need to wrap up. We already said 1 hour. We've done 7 minutes. Everything that my guests have said today literally connects. And they are true example to how you should live your life here. When you're leaving your country, you didn't buy any tickets for somebody that is going to be accompanying you. You decided to run this race by yourself, for yourself, and for your family, according to William. So if you're saying you're here for your family, please don't ignore whatever people say, okay? Focus on your family. And that is where, again, whatever counts for you as peace of mind is what you should go for. If you're going to sacrifice some time for your family, for you to raise your children, and you have to take the call center job, I think that's the best for you. Do what is right for your family. Don't say because my friend is heading one technology unit, or my friend is earning XYZ gig, and you neglect or forget the reason you came. And that's what I always tell people, family first. If anything is going to come in, I would rather step back. Sometimes I would rather take a thing to focus on my children, because the time you have to spend with them is now. You don't want to lose out on that experience. So when they go away, you don't know your children. So whatever is worth doing for yourself, do it. Whatever is worth doing for your family, do it. If you are looking for how to acquire some soft skills, PhD consulting is there for you. If you are looking for how to, you see, Mr. Bilta, share this money. Really, share this, he's the one that is controlling the reservoir. He not only controls the knowledge, he shares the money. So if you're looking for when and how to start building yourself for real estate, you're looking for advice, just book a consultation with Mr. Bilta. It's not for free, because you actually have to work by your time. If he has to take 1 hour to be with you, he needs to find a nanny to be with the girls. Okay, same thing goes for the PhD consulting as well. If it's going to be having a consultation with you, what that means is he's saying no to somebody. So that's the way the system works here. So it's always you, business as usual. But most times we bring our community side to things. If you feel like, okay, this is something that I can do, we always do it, because we're all human. We've met people along this journey that literally sacrifice for us. We bring that to perspective. But I'm saying this because there are quite a lot of experiences. I've spoken to a lot of immigrants. When they tell you business as usual, please don't judge them. Experience as, over time, made them to be a bit uptight, to say, okay, let's start off on this note, because people actually abuse relationships sometimes. That would be another talk for another day. We're going to be bringing people to share their experience of so many things they've seen, in terms of, going out of their way to helping people, but then it doesn't stop us from helping. Let us help ourselves. Let us have that mentality and mindset to keep an open door to help when we can. If it is getting too much, you don't want to offend this person, find a way. It's all about communication. It's all about networking, because this person you say yes to today might be another person that would help you, or somebody in the future, because this life, it's something that we live to fight another day, and we need to live another day. So on this note, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Let's give that comments that we need to focus on the bigger picture, things like that. Yes, Lady Kemisola said, yeah, the call center job can afford your mortgage. Spot on. Thank you, Life in New Brunswick. Thank you so much for sharing that tip. Mr. Bilte, share this morning. That's the feedback I'm seeing here. Thank you, everyone. So if you're looking to connect with any of our guests, there's an email there, info@PhD Consulting. They also have their handle, Realistic. There are some things again from Clicks by Gami. Thank you, everyone. I can't really see all the comments, but I'm sure every one of you have at some point. Yeah, it's a good entry, and I think later means a customer service role. Great advice about focusing on studying before mortgage. Yes, we actually learned a lot of things today. We're going to be doing this live session on our for people to come back to watch it. Thank you so much for taking your time, William Tarr. Thank you so much, Benita Ajay. We appreciate this time. William, we're bringing you back again to come and look us. I think we need to even have a night of 1,000 laughs with William. He literally, and I was literally tearing. Thank you. We appreciate it. And see you again in the community. And I hope you're not going to that city called M. If I see you here, you better leave them, let them stay in the city.
You can come.
And I know, let's just say it's Moncton. It's Moncton is saying, it's Moncton. We agree, no problem. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, it's really great to be here. Yeah, it's great to be here. And I wanted to just say that if you are still trying to, achieve something and hasn't come from something, you should stick at it. Thank you so much. Right.
Please say that again. The line was not clear then.
Okay. As I'm saying that if you're trying to achieve something, a particular goal, your goal is to have a house of your own, or your goal is to be able to start your career, or your goal is to be able to start your business, whatever you do, keep showing up every day, stick at it, and definitely it's just a matter of time. Everything would actually really fall in place. It's a concept that I call stick at it ability. Just stick at it. It will definitely come through.
Wow. Stick at it ability. I'm writing now.
Right.
Stick at it ability concept. Nice. William Tarr, a parting shot.
I just want to share with you what Nelson Mandela once said, that it always seems impossible until it's done. So sometimes you think things are impossible, but just keep working towards it. Believe yourself. And like what Ebenezer said, have confidence. Like you can know everything and you don't have confidence, people will doubt what you know. And that's one thing I see about myself. I'm doing well here because of my confidence. Even if I don't know it, I show up. I really show up. When I showing up, I show up with confidence, and that helps a little bit. But there is nothing that is impossible if you put your mind towards it. Thank you, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you. And if you are interested in immigration, I see Westbrook Immigration online. Please connect with him. He's a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I am also a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, but I'm not taking clients now. But I always support my people. When I see through, I aim for it, and I will always refer you. So that's Westbrook Immigration. Connect with him as well. Babatunde, thank you so much for joining. We look forward to having you on our segment someday. And to every one of you, Clicks by Dami, just go and get your dancing. We're going to have a dancing session here. Life in New Brunswick. It's just a bunch of you are from the city that starts with an M. Anyway, we'll bring you.
That's the best thing.
You will come. You will come. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye now. Bye. Oh my Lord. Thank you for watching till the end, and we have learned one or two things that we should come to Canada with the right attitude. We shouldn't be afraid to start little, and there is dignity in labor. So we see you next time. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you. Share this video with someone.